You're not getting anywhere with this, von Borchert.
You know, I kind of get the same feeling, my dear Sarah. Listen. Nothing. Not a sound. No one's coming to save you.
That's what you think. The Golden Order knows exactly where we are.
By the time your ridiculous secret society turns up, I'll be long gone. As for you, nothing will remain of your body.
If you touch a single hair on my mother's head, I'll skin you alive.
You know, Louis, I have no intention of beating your dear mother. There are more persuasive ways of making you talk. You've stolen something from me that I intend to get back. Where have you hidden it?
Von Borchert, you can't sell that book on the black market anymore. This is finished.
We know you're planning on selling at one of Lord Mortimer's parties. All right? Just tell us who the buyer is and we can make a deal.
You've no idea of the trouble you've gotten yourselves into. Oh, but you will tell me where it's hidden. I can promise you that.
Stop annoying our host, Louis. Son, didn't what happened to you in Rome teach you anything?
Just a few more minutes and my concoction will be ready. With this, your bodies will dissolve in less than 4 hours. You'll see. It loosens tongues in no time.
You know, I have to admit, Mother, the only thing you've ever taught me is that damn motto of yours. Always remain rational. And open. I got it. I've opened our shackles.
Draw him over here. I'll take care of him.
Von Borchert! Von Borchert! Listen. Let's make a deal. I'll tell you where the book is if you let my mother go free.
Oh, what are you playing at?
Don't worry, Mother.
You want to play the hero. Pity you're not in any position to do so. For the last time. Where is Al-Azif?
Let me do this. Trust me.
Please, be my guest, Mother.
Well
Good.
done, Louis. You reacted perfectly.
How do you feel, Mother?
Couldn't be better. He's alive, so I can question him after we get back. Pity he's just a middleman. Means I haven't finished with this case.
Oh, I had a feeling you'd be running off on one of your adventures again, Mother. You know what? I'm warning you. This time, I'm coming with you.
No, even though you impress me more and more, I have to do this on my own.
Mother, you're no spring chicken anymore.
Come on, let's go home. And don't forget to send our men to tend to von Borchert.
Well done, Mother.
You just had to pick up Bob Burchard's trail on your own, didn't you? You ditch me in Paris with no explanation, and off you go to infiltrate one of the world-renowned receptions of this Lord Mortimer? And now he writes me to say that you've gone missing on his private island? Which, by the way, looks more like a big rock than a paradise island.
Эпизод 1.
The least he could do is explain to me how he managed to lose you. In any case, it is time for you to stop all this, Mother. It no longer suits your age. Well, I'm sure I'll find you once again, slogging through the caves beneath the island, searching for some long-lost mystical object that you just can't live without. I'm already hating this trip, and all I've done is think
Contrary
about
to
it.
what one may be able to imagine, it was not the host himself who invited me.
Well now, Duchess, we find ourselves both invited by Sir Holm.
Well, how very amusing. Perhaps we have some common interests, Your Eminence. Is this your first time at one of Lord Mortimer's legendary parties?
Oh no, we have been friends since long ago. But as I'm doing some business with Sir Holm, the invitation came from him.
Well, I simply can't wait for all the festivities to begin.
And you, good sir, what brings you here?
Your Eminence, with all due respect, I prefer to keep my reasons for coming here to myself. I promise, it has nothing to do with the legendary party that you all appear to be preparing for.
Believe what you will, my son. However, everything is related to the legendary parties organized by our host.
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that, Cardinal.
Anyway, consider yourself fortunate, young man, because there are many who dream of simply one day setting foot on this island, and only a very few ever make it. Indeed, I imagine this must be your first time here.
And you, Duchess? You seem to be quite accustomed to things here. Am I right?
I do not think that one can ever get accustomed to what Lord Mortimer prepares for his guests. But you are right. This is not the first time I've been on this wharf.
If you've come back again, I imagine you must find it to be of some interest.
Here, everything is possible if you make the right choices. It really is up to you whether you leave better off or not.
Please excuse me if you find me overly curious, young man. I did not mean to cause you any embarrassment. Come, Duchess. They are waiting for us.
We're moving, Monsieur de Richet, if you would like to join us.
I'm coming, Duchess. A cardinal? A duchess? I wonder if all the guests here are this prestigious.
Да, здесь
If
даже
I'd
Гитлер.
known, I would have gone for a better suit.
Are you all right?
Mother? Oh shit, your hand!
So,
Okay, it's done.
did you put it in a safe place?
Yes. I made sure no one was following me. Don't worry, Sarah. No one's going to find it.
Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, I'm sure.
Right. Just one thing left to do.
No, Mother, no, don't!
What? Have you lost your mind?
There's no other way.
If you kill me, you won't find it.
That is the point, my dear. No one must ever put their hands on it again.
No. But I trusted you.
No, Sarah. Don't. No. No!
You can run if you want to, Sarah, but you will pay.
Hugh.
Louis, are you all right? What's going on?
Варенье протекло.
Here, take this.
I'm sorry.
Keep it. Are you better?
I'm fine. Don't worry. It's getting late. Why don't you go on ahead and I'll catch up with you, okay?
Are you sure?
Yes. I'm sorry. I'm sure, yes.
Fine.
I definitely have to find Mother quickly.
Am I going crazy or what? This can't be real. The Duchess arrived with me. What's happening to me, for God's sake? I absolutely need to find you, Mother.
Louis, during the trip, I had something I wanted to ask you, but we didn't happen to run into each other.
Yes, Duchess?
I'm not sure if you remember, but we've met before. At that time, you were of two minds as to your choice of career. Tell me, what have you been up to since?
Детектив. Так. Да, здорово. Критическое мышление, красноречие, оккультизм. Так, что здесь? Пробел.
Well, over the last few years, I've solved a number of crime cases. Like the chauffeur d'Alger, for example. Thieves that tortured their victims with burning embers.
Charming. How did you catch them?
I told the most cowardly one that the others had given him up.
Ah, and I wager your thief suddenly started to talk.
You wouldn't believe it. He told us everything. The jobs, the stashes, the names of his partners. Couldn't shut him up.
I heard about that case, but I didn't know you were the one who solved it.
I'm flattered that the news made it across the channel. And you've got a darn good memory, Duchess.
Well, they say I have the memory of two people. But please, call me Emily.
Fine, Emily. Tell me, I was actually helped on that case by my mother. You wouldn't know her by any chance?
Wait, Louis. We've already met. You do remember me, don't you?
Please excuse me, madam. I'm sure we've met before, but I don't remember where.
I appreciate your honesty, even if it's not very flattering for me.
I imagine that with your beauty, madam, it's the first time a man hasn't remembered your face.
Well, I must say, you make up for yourself rather elegantly.
Please stop torturing me. I'm completely at your mercy. Where have we met?
4 years ago, in London?
No. Sorry, I don't remember.
In the office of William Pitt. Remember? No?
I'm so sorry, Emily, but I really don't remember you.
Let's drop it, Louis. It doesn't matter. Right, time to go to the manor.
Нам какие-то нужны детали. Сейчас, момент.
I ask her a question, she answers with another. Is she playing with me?
Заканчивается с характером дневного окружения. Стремим слабость. Зайдем.
Emily, please excuse my insisting, but you still haven't answered about my mother.
Так, это. Устойчивость к логике, да, она же женщина, конечно.
You'll see, Louis. Everybody here knows Sarah de Richet.
I don't know where we're going like this, Emily, but you're connected to my mother one way or another. And if I can believe my vision, you don't have much of a place in her heart.
Брони приемных действий будет получать новые звания. Что они блокируют звания? Я не знаю, что вкладки много. Ну. Окей.
Good evening, sir. May I ask your name, please?
Louis Moras de Richer.
Monsieur de Richet. Delighted to welcome you among us, sir. You must be Sarah de Richet's son. I must tell you we are doing our utmost to find your mother as quickly as possible.
What can you tell me about the disappearance of my mother?
2 weeks have passed since Sir's mother went missing. All the staff here have since been busy searching every nook and cranny of the island. But Sir may rest assured, we shouldn't be long in finding her.
And just what have you found so far?
It would seem that Sir's mother may be hiding on the island and regularly changing her location. But no one seems to know why she would find this behavior necessary.
What do you mean?
On several occasions, we have found leftovers of food, a few of her things, or even traces of campsites. The reason why we're searching the wharf again is because lights were spotted there last night.
Where we are now?
Indeed, sir. According to our information, lights were seen in the middle of the night, sir. After verification, none of the guests seem to have left the manor last night. We think that perhaps Sir's mother was here.
И понятно.
And did you find anything then?
We discovered a certain amount of damage, sir, on the wooden part of the wharf.
What type of damage?
Broken barrels, mainly. We'll do whatever is necessary to have them rapidly repaired. But quite frankly, I can't imagine what Sir's mother would have been doing with them.
What could Mother have been doing with barrels?
Nevertheless, our search of the wharf hasn't been entirely unsuccessful, though.
What do you mean?
We seem to have found an object that would appear to belong to Sir's mother. A handkerchief. The handkerchief is embroidered with the initials SDR. We came to the conclusion that they are the initials of Sir's mother, Sarah de Richet. I have orders to give it to Lord Mortimer as soon as I see him.
I know my mother. She's not the kind to go for a midnight stroll on the wharf for nothing. I've got to find out what the hell she was doing.
Графен.
Where exactly did you find the handkerchief?
On the landing dock, sir. The one you arrived by.
Так.
Give me the handkerchief. I'll personally show it to Lord Mortimer.
Well,
I've traveled hard for several days in order to get here.
Yes, but...
Invited by your master.
No, of course,
Because my mother went missing right under your nose.
Sir, please.
And having only just arrived, you refused to give me her personal belongings?
Of course not, sir. It was never my intention to contradict, sir. Here you are. I must return now. It is still much to prepare in order to
Запугали
welcome all the
бедного Саба.
guests.
В маске Веги и
It is
Стритфайтера.
indeed your handkerchief, Mother. You must have come here for a specific reason. I need to know what it is. Let's think. What could she have been doing out here on this wharf? Looks like the barrel's been broken for quite some time.
Так.
This chest might belong to Duchess here.
Горшочек не да. Ответственная точка действия. Категория 5 горшочков. Окей.
Must be an incredible view from up there. Impossible to set foot on the island without being seen from 300 meters away.
Ну,
Looks like a bar from an old gate. This miserable old bar has been broken fairly recently.
Похоже на Soul Suspect.
And the tip is blackened. Without analysis
Больше
to the contrary,
сценок.
I put my money on cannon powder. This might just come in handy.
Когда я отказывался от халявного лута.
Sack of seeds. It's unopened. No one seems to have used any. Some rope. Apparently no one's touched it for a good long time. A lantern. Nothing special. Let's see what's hidden inside.
Найти зацепку.
Ah, one of the letters is stamped with the seal of the Order. And I'd recognize your handwriting anywhere, Mother. But who is this Samuel Ritter d'Auchois? Who are you writing to? I don't recognize the name. Let's see what's inside this letter. So,
Dear Samuel, my stay on Lord Mortimer's island is going wonderfully well. As I find myself in such charming company, I plan to stay a few more weeks. Would you be so kind as to send me a gift that I'd like to give to our old friend Manuel Godoy? I would be most grateful. I have been told that he's going to join us here soon. I would like to mark the occasion.
А, тут
Thank you in
еще
advance.
на всякие
Yours devotedly,
спецдействия,
Sarah
типа там
Faustine
логики
Dupuche.
и прочего,
what is your
тратятся
game,
вот эти
Mother?
вот
Secrets, always more secrets. You never
поинты,
thought that
которые
anyone
слева
used a
внизу.
language like this. Something's going on here.
Мгм.
Who is this Samuel Ritter? And for crying out loud, who is this Manuel Godoy that you keep bringing up? Think. Godoy.
Интересно.
Manuel Godoy. Why does the name sound so familiar? I'm guessing he's a man of some importance. Spanish, I'd say. But just can't put a face to him. Well, hope we meet to talk about it soon, Mother. I don't know what you've gotten yourself into this time, but I'll bet you've got a lot to tell me.
Так. Это больше ничего нет. Окей. А, еще здесь можно тупо всю игру управлять мышкой. Гарчик надо. И... Ни хрена. Да.
Locked. I'll never get it open barehanded.
Да-да, я знал. Я знал. Короче, видишь
Clearly, I'm not
лут,
much for manual labor. Let's see if I can get it open
бери
another
лут.
way.
Так. Я потратил почти все поинты.
There we are. This looks like a pistol case, but it's empty. I don't know if this has anything to do with you, Mother, but if it does, at least now you're armed.
Hmm.
Just like in my vision. And none of it's telling me anything useful.
Так. Надо немножко. Давайте. Убить нажмите 1. Пчела на главном герое.
This wharf is used as storage for a lot of barrels. Uh-huh. What have we here? It's cannon powder. It's unusable now. I don't know what the person who left this barrel like this had in mind, but it's a waste. Apparently, someone on this island has gone through a whole lot of trouble.
Мне кажется, сколько тут одно дополнительное очко действия. Окей.
Amber crystals.
Тут вроде все. Пока да, пока довольно-таки сильно напоминает Soul Suspect. Впрочем, это второй детектив, в который я играю.
How did Mortimer manage to build his manor at the top of a rocky outcrop?
И Зевс.
Impressive.
Ah, my son, I was looking for you.
What can I do for you, Your Eminence?
I wanted to ask you. You are the son of Sara de Rice, aren't you? You see, your mother and I were supposed to meet here on this very spot. I was supposed to hand her a very important envelope. But I haven't seen her.
If only Mother had told me why she was coming here. Anyway, I ought to take the envelope. It might have something to do with her disappearance. Listen, if it will help, you can always give it to me.
В ходе разговора необходимо определить несколько этапов и вызывать доверие собеседника. Окей, понятно.
Thank you, my son. I'll bear that in mind. I'd rather deal with her directly. Don't take it personally. Would you happen to know if your mother has arrived yet?
Certainly, Your Eminence. Mother got here some time ago. I was hoping to find her when I arrived, but given the hour, she must be asleep by now.
Right. I shall see her tomorrow then.
By the way, Your Eminence, I wasn't aware you knew my mother.
Ah, if you only knew, my son. I hold your mother in
Я
the
твой
highest
отец.
regard. She has rendered great service to the church, and her help is invaluable. I hope that you will follow in her footsteps.
If only she had told me where she was headed.
Nonetheless, our exchanges have always been discreet, and I should like them to remain as such. If your mother wishes to speak to you about us one day, I will not mind if she does so.
That is very commendable. But since we work together on a daily basis, it's surely just an oversight.
Most certainly. You said you work together. What do you do exactly?
My mother and I belong to the same secret organization, the Golden Order, which I joined a few years ago. Mother trained me, and I assist in her research. In other words, you can trust me.
My child, you are telling a perfect stranger that you and your mother work for a secret society. It would seem that discretion is not one of your specialities, my son. You will understand that it does not encourage me to put my trust in you.
Shit! All the same, it bothers me to see you in a quandary, Your Eminence. Is there any other solution? Look, if it's of any help, you can always leave your envelope with me, and I'll give it to her as soon as I see her.
I hesitate. Up till now, we have always dealt with her in person, and that has always been successful.
О,
Do
кстати,
you
Лизи.
think I should give it to you?
Я вчера ночью встретил Дореда.
Only you know that, Your Eminence. If you're asking me if you can trust me, or if I can keep a secret, I would answer yes, absolutely.
I understand.
In truth, it all depends on the nature of the contents of your letter.
It is a list of names.
This list must be of extreme importance.
Ah, if only you knew. It's a list of people that your
Здорово,
mother
Южи.
must help. Listen to me, my child. If I give you the letter, can you promise me before God that no one other than your mother will read it?
Всегда должны видеть создание, выбрав нужную реплику, если не генеральный ответ. Окей.
I swear by the Almighty God to honor the promise that no one but my mother shall cast her gaze upon your letter.
Good. Listen, let's stop there. I'm going to tell you a secret, Monsieur Lelouch. Your mother and I are organizing the escape of a large number of French priests who face a massacre organized by the accursed Republican tribunals. The church is literally being bled like a beast. Without your mother, hundreds of
Да, ну
men
это
clothed
буквально
at
самое
the
начало.
guillotine.
Ну, минут 15
She
было.
has made the services of
Игры.
your order available to us by organizing the priests' safe passage across the borders. Even if she does not share all our convictions, she always provided assistance. Young man, you can be proud to be her son. Be it only for her sake. Always respect your name. Here, the letter I spoke of. It includes a list of about 15 names ready for departure. Be quick. Remember to tell Sarah when you see her that time is short.
Well played. I'll decide later when I'm alone whether to look at what it contains.
Господи, они могут влиять на ревью сюжета по сторонам. Окей. Так, нужно выпить.
Lives of the Noble Greeks and Romans by Plutarch, a biography of the great men.
Признание трудов, навыков. Окей. Так. Как его заюзать? Или это просто +1 будет давать в дальнейшем? Окей. Поставь.
I thought my chimney was big, but this one is beyond belief.
It's the least one can say. I've been longing for a warm fire for ages.
Since I set foot on the island, I haven't ventured more than 2 yards away from it.
Have you also just arrived?
Oh, late morning, I'd say.
Louis, come join us. Monsieur, may I introduce you to Monseigneur His Eminence, Cardinal Piaggi? He joins us straight from Rome.
Oh, just call me Your Eminence. It's simpler.
George Washington, President of the United States of America.
Delighted at
Ты
last
не
to make
похож,
your
чувак.
acquaintance.
Ты не похож на Вашингтон.
Pleased to meet you, Mr. President. Louis Moras de Richet. It is an honor to meet you.
Young man, let's keep it simple, please. Let us forget our fancy titles. Nice to meet you, Louis.
I should imagine you never thought you'd be in such company.
I must admit that I didn't. It's the first time that I've ever met so many illustrious personalities.
And you haven't seen anything yet. Generally, when Lord Mortimer organizes one of his receptions, there are over a dozen people here.
They can't all be here yet, and you'll see, most of the time there's only the upper crust.
And I noticed you were already getting to know His Eminence at the entrance. It's the perfect place to build up a network. What were you talking about, if you'll forgive my indiscretion?
At the risk of disappointing you, we weren't conspiring in our corner, sir. His Eminence was simply telling me that he knew my mother and how much he held her in high esteem.
It so happens that Monsieur de Richet's mother is to join us.
Oh, pity. No scrumptious gossip or juicy tidbits, unmentionable secrets, or even money matters. But you'll see, it will come. Despite all the goodwill in the world, you can't stop people scheming left and right.
Когда уже покажет Наполеона.
Speak for yourself, sir.
Well, my friends, do any of you know the reason why we're here this time?
Not in the slightest. As for me, I've been invited by Sir Holm, a close friend of Lord Mortimer, but I do not know the reason why.
You see, Louis, every time Lord Mortimer organizes a reception, he always finds a moment to set up a chat with all the guests.
During which time we remake the world.
Accompanied by gallons of absinthe and cussing. I'll leave you to imagine the result.
So, if I understand rightly, Monsieur de Richet, you've come out here to join your mother. For what reason, exactly?
Lord Mortimer asked me to drop everything and come find my mother, who seems to have disappeared during her stay here.
Ah,
I took the first boat, and here I am.
I'm so sorry.
Don't be, sir. It's not your fault.
Seriously, though, I know your mother well. Stay behind with me afterwards. and we'll take a moment to speak about her.
Бля, какая-то мамаша у него известная.
Good lord. Washington is wearing the emblem of the Grand Master of the Golden Order. It's the highest distinction of the order in the United States. It puts him on par with my mother. He must really know his stuff when it comes to the occult.
Good evening, my friends.
Holy shit. That's the man for my vision.
An urgent case has delayed our host, Lord Mortimer. He can't be present this evening, and he sends his deepest apologies.
He's asked me here and he hasn't even turned up? Great start.
Окей.
And now, my dear guests, a light meal is served in the small salon. For
Отвлекся,
those who would
блин, на
like to,
чатик.
you're invited to follow me into the next room.
My dear fellow, you must have read my thoughts. I shall follow.
We'll have to be careful not to make too much noise. One of Lord Mortimer's guests is relaxing.
Oh, we shall be quiet.
Don't take it the wrong way, Sir Holm, but I've already eaten. Thus, I shall be happy to remain by the fireside.
If you don't mind, Gregory, I should like to keep Mr. Washington company.
Please feel at home. And you, sir?
If I stay with Washington, we'll be able to speak about my mother. But on the other hand, I'd like to learn more about this home. I saw him in my vision.
My vision is more important. Let's follow home. I'll follow you, sir. Mr. Washington, I hope to speak with you at greater length on another occasion. Emily, please excuse me, but I would like to speak to Sir Home. I shall see you later.
Почему его здесь называют Грегори, а там Холм? Идиот.
My friend, I hope our dear Giovanni is well.
The troubles in France have fatigued him, but he will recover slowly. Do not fear. He apologizes for remaining in Rome. The voyage was too much for him.
And right he was, too. The mildness of the Mediterranean, eh? Come, sit down and have something to eat, my friend. You look rather pale. Excuse me, sir. I have been neglecting my duty. I haven't introduced myself. Sir Gregory Home, an old friend of Lord Mortimer's.
A real pleasure, sir.
You who must be well used to the court of France. How do you find this peaceful little haven?
Charming if I hadn't come here for disturbing reasons.
Yes, I heard the news. What a story.
Indeed. I wanted to ask you. You seem to know my mother well. Is that true?
Who does not know of her, sir? She has such a wide circle that everyone knows your mother from a distance or closer.
Everyone knows Sarah, my son.
But you only know her by her reputation.
I remember she once worked for the Crown of England and that she always honors her engagements. However, we have never been personally introduced, sadly.
Well, if I'm to believe my vision, you're not going to get along with her.
Thank you for your answers, Sir Home. But I beg your pardon. I get the impression I know you. Have we met?
Except in my dreams, of course.
Not that I remember, young man. Perhaps you are mistaking me for another member of the Chamber of Lords. What with the wig and the powder, it wouldn't be the first time.
No, you were definitely the one I saw threatening my mother.
I thought... Never mind. It'll come back to me. Would you allow me one last question, sir? I don't want to take up all your time.
Please, go ahead. What do you want to know?
Do you know if anyone else has gone missing recently?
Not at all, sir. It's as if Sarah has purely and simply vanished into thin air.
That's right. Just take me for an idiot, why don't you?
Not even a servant, then?
Not even a servant. I can assure you, we would have been informed.
Keep your faith, my son. Only the celebrated Sara de Rice could vanish before our very eyes, and she will reappear. You will see.
No!
Elizabeth! I should have insisted that you rest in your room.
Do you want me to call someone?
Let me handle this. I'm used to this kind of thing.
Thank you, Mr. Duché.
Miss, can you hear me?
Leave me.
Her breathing is becoming stable and her heart rate too.
Pale complexion, thin, broken nails, an enormous scar on her temple. Tattoos
И
on her
прическа у
hands.
нее как-то
I
не
don't
из
know what
этого
happened to you,
столетия.
Missy, but it looks like you've been through hell.
Can you tell me something about her? Who is this young lady?
Elizabeth Adams. She's come to the island for a course of treatment, to rest.
For a course of treatment?
That's right. Sea air can do wonders. Are you all right, Elizabeth? Do you feel any better?
When did she arrive?
4 days ago.
Okay. My mother had already gone missing. She's just regained consciousness and she immediately reaches for her brooch? I don't know exactly what it means to her, but obviously it's got to be something important.
Are you all right, Elizabeth? You gave us quite a fright.
Take it easy, miss.
Let me. I just need to get back to my room.
Of course, my dear. Go ahead. You saw it, didn't you?
Pardon me?
I segni della bestia.
Sorry, Your Eminence. I don't speak Italian.
Forget it. It doesn't matter.
Gentlemen, it's getting late.
Ладно, кто говорит
It's time
по-итальянски,
for
что он
everyone
сказал?
to go to bed. It has been a long day.
Типа метка зверя или что ли? Или вот зверь.
It's all the more delicate.
I'll see what I can do, but the case I'm on at the moment might well leave me with very few opportunities. Well, I am impressed with all this splendor.
But don't spend too much time with Mr. Washington, my dear, or you'll lose your pretty accent. You seem to be intrigued by that statue.
Absolutely. It is remarkable.
Oh, it's naughty to tell lies. Bet my life that you were talking about something totally different from the decoration of the manor. But to find out what, I should have stayed with them. Too bad.
Lord Mortimer is fond of atypical works of art. I won't disguise the fact that I find it all a little megalomaniacal. But I must say, he does have some outstanding pieces.
Sir Holm, who was that young lady with you?
Elizabeth Adams, Mr. President. She would have liked to have stayed with us, but the poor thing is exhausted.
Elizabeth Adams?
Just mentioning Elizabeth totally changed Washington's attitude. Looks like he just saw a ghost.
Miss Adams is here to rest. You have perhaps already come across her in the corridors. She arrived a few days ago.
I perceived her, but we weren't introduced.
Rest assured, she is not here for the same reasons as yourselves. Consequently, I'm counting on your indulgence.
Washington looks surprised, but Holmes doesn't seem to see it. I wonder if he's being polite or if he really doesn't see his discomfort.
On that note, it's very late. You must be exhausted. The servant will accompany you to your rooms.
Ladies, gentlemen, I bid you all good night. Mr. President, Your Eminence, Duchess, you have the same rooms as usual. You, Monsieur de Richet, will find your room at the end of the corridor.
Well, my friends, I am bone tired. I am off to my bed. See you in the morning.
Good night, sir. I shall do likewise.
Louis, I shall see you in the morning. Sleep well.
Близких персонажей
Good night. See you tomorrow.
потрудились сразу видно.
Oh,
Вашингтон
man.
говорит видно.
It's been quite a day.
Вашингтон.
Right. Where is my room?
Так, в конце коридора.
Duchess Emily Hillsborough. Duke Manuel Godoy. Huh, that's me.
Здорово, Петрик, это детектив.
So what shall I do with this letter? It might be about my mother's disappearance. But if I open it, I'll be betraying Biaggi's trust. What should I do?
Пока не открыл.
Can't wait to open it, but I gave my word to Biaggi, so too bad. I'll wait until I hand it to Mother. Wow, nice room. Mortimer sure doesn't do things halfway.
Нормас так. Так. Что мне делать? Что мне делать? Блин, неплохие такие апартаментики. Вполне возможно, вполне возможно. Коллекционная монета. Что это такое? Что такое? А, просто... Это крыльцо. Нет. Заперто. Заставлено. Война Вичи и Петригиса продолжается. Кто из вас инь, а кто-то янь. Так. Что я... Кому? Так. Культизм. Шанс, подлец. Знание. Взять уклонение. Да, пока будем, пока... Если можете быть какой из вас будет читать, что дополнительные очки навыков. Окей. Убеждение, психология. Так. И почитаем психологию. О, тут очки действия устанавливаются, когда ты спишь. Это какой-то мистический детектив. Причем здесь участвуют Вашингтон, Наполеона и прочее.
The servants are not very efficient.
Durocher can't be far away. They'll find her soon. Their search time is restricted, given that they must keep an eye on Adams.
I can take care of her, you know.
Yes. Well, in any case, I do thank you for bringing her to the island.
From what I've understood, the search of de Richet's room hasn't turned up any results.
Not yet, no. But we've put her son in there. Perhaps he'll find something.
That might come in handy.
Louis grows impatient at not yet having met the famous Lord Mortimer.
He will meet him tomorrow.
Oh, what a pity to lose a knight at the start of the game. Are you waiting for someone?
A young French soldier.
During our game of chess?
Don't worry, Gregory. The game won't disappear. I'll have one of my men escort you back.
Don't trouble yourself. I know my way out.
Ah, good evening, gentlemen. Please forgive me for this late hour.
It is never too late. And we have much to discuss.
Нет, это явно не
One
Наполеон.
last move?
Don't worry. Our games always seem to end like this.
Or always start like this. Come, come, take a seat, my friend.
Так. А, так это все-таки Наполеон был. Блин, он не похож. Он должен быть пониже. Ну, явно ниже этого английского лорда.
A little nighttime stroll, Mr. President?
There's nothing like it for a good night's sleep.
Do not hesitate to ask a servant to show you back.
The corridors seem quite safe.
Peppermint, lime flower, and valerian. My miracle remedy when one can't get to sleep. A very good night to you, Mr. President.
Thank you. And to you too, sir.
Да не доверял напомаженным мужикам.
I'm coming.
Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Lovely lectures Mortimer is giving to his guests. Very jolly.
Excuse me. Am I bothering you?
No, not in the least. Is something wrong?
I'm going to need your help. Do you remember the young lady we spoke of in the hall?
I bumped into her in the small salon before.
Well, she is the daughter of my friend, the Vice President, John Adams. But she is supposed to be dead.
Yeah, that's bizarre. Fair enough.
Good heavens! I was present at her funeral.
It is disturbing indeed.
Yes. I need to make sure it's her. That's where you come in. I want you to distract Elizabeth while I search her room. And perhaps get my hands on some important information. At least, I hope so. Elizabeth is in the small salon. If you hurry, you can still catch her. I just need 10 minutes.
But if my vision is true, there are two men nearby discussing very important issues, and one of them looks much like Mortimer. Washington is very kind, but I came to this island for my mother, not for his ghost stories.
Нет, поможем старику.
Count on me, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Keep Elizabeth downstairs as
Пока он
long as
выглядит
possible.
самым
She must
нормальным.
not return to her room.
Trust me. According to Washington, Lady Adams is in the small salon. I better hurry.
Так, узнать бы, где эта малая гостиница. Так. Банк якорцев. Якорцев или якорцев? Обязательно. Так, некоторые время будет... Окей. Если это тупо небольшой читок.
My son. Oh, you are a godsend.
What's the matter, Your Eminence?
I believe Miss Adams may be in danger.
What do you mean?
Do you hear that? She is being manhandled in this small salon.
By whom?
I don't know exactly. A thug, a Frenchman, it seems. By the cut of his cloth, I'd say he's a member of the French Revolutionary Government. You should do something, my son.
Shit. I was supposed to make sure Adams wouldn't go back to her room. Don't worry, Your Eminence. I'll take care of it. Probably nothing to worry about.
Do you want me to call for help?
Please don't do anything. I'm sure with a little goodwill, everything will work out fine. Don't go and wake up the whole manor, please.
Thank you, my son. May God watch over you.
Так.
Who do you think you are?
Forgive.
Вы можете осуществить разные способы. Тщательно обдумать решение, как делать выбор.
Me, sir.
If we were in France, I'd have sent you to the guillotine for what you just said.
Please, just let me go back to my room.
Hey, you! Stay out of it! This is none of your business. I'm gonna teach this little slut how to behave.
What the hell is going on?
Huh? I don't think you know who I am.
Stop. I beg you. I didn't mean to. Don't hit me, please, sir.
Shit. If I step in, Adams might just run back to her room. And if I do nothing, yes, Washington will have enough time to search, but this girl's gonna suffer. Damn it, what should I do?
Let her go!
Huh? Stay out of it, boy!
Shit.
What are you playing at? I told you to mind your own business, boy. If you think you can side with this whore and then just walk away, you're out of your mind. Give me one good reason not to knock you down.
You're not back in your slum now. You're in Lord Mortimer's home. I suggest you think carefully about what you're going to do.
Don't think you're getting away with it that easily.
I'm
sick of all these toffs. If we were in Paris, I'd send you all to the guillotine. And on top of it all, a woman telling me how I ought to behave? I won't stand for it.
Oh, okay. Wait a minute.
What? Don't tell me you're gonna defend these harlots.
Women, right? They really do drive us crazy sometimes. I totally understand.
Yeah, and every time they open their mouths, it makes you want to slap them. I get the feeling you're trying to put one over on me. If that's the case, you're making a big mistake.
Sorry about that. Look, there's no point in us aggravating each other. Let's both just go our separate ways.
Don't move. We're not done yet. You wanted to be the knight in shining armor and save the damsel in distress. Let's see how brave you are.
Угу.
I've watched you, and you're shaking. I'm betting you won't fire.
I'm not in the habit of beating Lord Mortimer's guest in his own salon. You got off easy this time, but don't try it again.
Мы еще даже прокачались на этом мужике.
Huh. Elizabeth has lost her brooch.
Так, что там за предмет? Береги себя, сестренка. Так, ну тут монетка.
Well,
Did you get time to search the room?
Louis, I only needed 10 minutes. Imagine the scandal if she had found me.
What would you have done in my shoes? She was in the middle of an argument with some angry guy.
10 minutes. I didn't ask for the moon.
Nonetheless, you found what you were looking for, didn't you?
Not everything, but yes. Elizabeth is definitely the daughter of John Adams. We need more information.
You can always go back.
It's too late now.
Так. Снимаю здесь эффекты, не более 5. Окей. Полезное. Снимайте монеты вообще. Что? Окей. Как говорится, понял, принял.
Duke Manuel Godoy.
Your Eminence, what are you doing here?
I was worried about you, my son. How did it go with Miss Adams?
Don't worry about that anymore, Your Eminence. I had to step in, but everything's under control.
What an adventure, my son. I am relieved to hear it. You acted as a good Christian. In these troubled times, we need more men of your caliber.
It's nothing, Your Eminence. I did what I had to do. Well, you did the opposite.
Good. Well, thanks for the news. My son, I have another problem. I wanted to speak to you about something important. Do you still have my letter on you? The one I gave you in the hall?
Why do you ask?
I have a name to add to it.
Here it is.
Thank you, my son. Ah, I see that it's still sealed. I was right to put my trust in you, Louise. Now, give me 1 second, please. I can't imagine what would have happened if I hadn't added this name to the list. Please, be sure to give this letter to Sarah the moment you see her.
You can count on it.
Have a good night.
Старый хрыч проверяет. Так, нам нужно наверняка...
Louis, you're straying from your objective. Louis, you're straying from your objective.
Свобода мира здесь явно нет.
I'm exhausted. I better go to bed. I'll search my room tomorrow. If Mother stayed here right before me, you never know. And Mortimer had better show up.
Так. Так. Так, здесь даже... Сложный выбор. Возьму науку. и политику. Почему с меня не спали пенальти? Что за херня?
All right. In my vision yesterday, I saw that Mother had this room before me. I better search the room. Who knows? Maybe she left me something behind. Writing material. From what I see, no ink's ever been used on this quill. The smell reminds me of something. It smells like lemon. That's odd. Writing material. I haven't even had time to unpack my cases.
Dear Monsieur de Richet, please excuse me, but I am unable. Dear Monsieur de Richet.
Inspiration of St. Matthew, or Matthew writing his gospel, dictated to him by voices. Nothing. The torture of Ixion, condemned by the gods to lose his mind because of his arrogance. The incredulity of St. Thomas. Why is Caravaggio representing St. Thomas putting his finger in the wound? Thomas looks on but doesn't touch. St. Francis of Assisi in ecstasy. Before superior voice, Saturn devouring his son. Again? I saw the same theme in the hall. There's a circle around the lock here. Must be the trunk Mortimer was talking about. The key should open it. There's a note. Effects of Sœur de Richet, to be given to her son, Louis. I should probably take it. All right. I've retrieved everything. Nothing here. I wouldn't mind a nice, strong coffee, though. Inferno by Dante. Abandon hope, all ye who enter here. Look. Markings on the floor. Just a bit worn out. I was hoping to find something leading to a secret passage. Oh, this bookcase is well stocked. Oh, this book has been put back the wrong way round. A Voyage Around the World. The travel log of the explorer, Louis-Antoine de Bougainville. One of Mother's favorite books. What a coincidence. And I don't believe in coincidences. It's just too much. I don't know what's going on here, but if you felt threatened, I'll bet you'd leave a clue, wouldn't you, Mother? Found it. A faint sign of the order, barely visible. Mother, you undoubtedly must have hidden a clue in this book. Let's see if I can find anything else in this room.
Рассмотреть.
The paper's rougher around the writing. The paper's moist here. Very light stain, barely visible. And the smell reminds me of something. Come on, Louis, think. Think. Let's recap. My mother was in this room. I found a rare edition of her favorite book. She must have left something behind. She applied a liquid to the book. She must have used the writing materials. The quill has been used, but not with regular ink. A message using invisible ink. I bet she used the limit to leave a message. Now, how do I reveal the message?
Так. Кто-нибудь чем проявить, окей. Ладно.
Apart from getting the book dirty, I can't see any use for this. Damn, we're making a serious mess here. It's no good. It might have worked if the writing had left marks in the paper, but no, there's only traces of lemon. Luckily, I've only put ash on part of the message.
Это.
Hey, a Russian ruble. I wonder what it'd be worth today. Nothing here. I wouldn't mind a nice, strong coffee, though. Look, markings on the floor. Just a bit worn out. I was hoping to find something leading to a secret passage.
Куда ты ее засунул под подушку-то, чувак?
Aha! It's working! The heat reveals the message. Let's see what my mother wrote. Where all eyes size you up, you must pass by the Gorgon. Gorgon was the name of Medusa in Greek mythology. On the other hand, where all eyes size you up, I don't get it. And judging by the number of paintings in the manor, could be anywhere. Damn! The message continues, but thanks to me, the rest of the text is unreadable. Great. I hope it wasn't a unique edition or Mother's gonna kill me. Now I better hurry and find that damn Medusa.
Sir, dinner is served in the red salon.
Typical.
I'm not hungry. Please give my apologies to all the guests.
Sir Holm requests your presence, sir.
Well, I guess I'm just gonna have to wait before going and looking for my Medusa.
Tell him I'll be there in a minute.
Так. Книгу, кстати. Взять или... Взять нельзя.
If I get a chance, I may have to take a little tour through the rooms of the other guests. The Greek drachma, one of the rare ancient coins to be mentioned both in the Bible and in the Quran. It might be better to take a different stairway. That must be the door to the room of the Monsieur Napoléon Bonaparte. Sir Jacques Perreux.
Так, здесь только сесть, да?
A few leaves out of an old encyclopedia. Golden elixir. Consume without excess.
Ну, пока
Devil's Thorn.
неплохо сделано в плане сюжета и графена. Батя говорит, молодца.
Monsieur Johann van Vulner.
That's the door to Elizabeth's room. For God's sakes, what happened in here?
Неплохо. Это Вашингтон так обыск проводил?
Honey, the remedy of the...
Looks like I found a box containing some kind of white crystals. These are magnesium crystals. A fairly effective remedy for easing anxiety. Well, let's see what it tastes like. Ugh.
Можно было не тратить эликсир.
I really need to stop tasting everything I find now.
Ценные шуточки типа 10. Так. Окей.
A novel of the initiation of a young woman into polite society, June 11th, 1791.
My dear Elizabeth, your last letter gave me much cause for concern. Your words were... My dear Elizabeth, I'm writing to inform you of some unfortunate news.
А, то есть это еще наябывал Вашингтона, за что она умерла.
A chest with a half-circle pattern.
An untutored hand copied these notes. Looks like a healing method. Well, that's a pity. The writing is barely legible. The note suggests binding the feet and hands, then blocking the jaws using a piece of cloth to prevent the tongue from being sectioned. That looks like a method to control an epileptic fit. I wonder if Elizabeth is the one being treated for that illness.
Погнали, чувак. Бегаем, лутаемся.
President George Washington.
Let no one disturb me. I'm busy.
Too bad. We'll see him later.
Хрыч.
Monseigneur, His Eminence Cardinal Piaggi.
Да, делал круг. Ясно.
Might be better to take a different stairway.
Excuse me, Monsieur de Richet. I really need to talk to you.
Is this about last night?
No, that was just a misunderstanding. I'm sure it was a little bit my fault too.
There's no excuse for that man's horrible behavior. You ought to tell Sir Holm.
Look, the only thing that I care about is that I've lost something precious. I'm not worried about Jacques Peru.
You didn't happen to lose this, did you?
Where did you find it?
In the small salon.
It's the only reminder I have of my beloved sister. I thought that swine stole it from me. You're her son. Sarah de Richet's son.
Yes, why?
Last night, I found out that your mother was on the island. What are you doing here?
Excuse me, but speaking frankly, why would you care?
I know your mother very well.
Really?
Yes, I have been in your mother's care ever since I was born.
She nursed you.
Oh, I wouldn't say nursed. No, I remember her stare, cold as ice. Her sadistic hands pressing over my mouth to silence me while I screamed in pain. I remember her knees, too. She held me down with them while she cut and burned scars into me.
Hold on a minute. What do you mean?
You can ask her when you see her.
Huh, she's getting more and more agitated. And next you're gonna tell me my mother's also responsible for that scar on your head?
My heart stopped twice during the operation. I lost my memory for 6 months. You obviously have no idea of the abuse your mother inflicted on me.
Wait. There must be some kind of mistake.
My only mistake was ever meeting your mother.
She's able to describe every detail without hesitation or getting flustered. It's becoming difficult not to believe the poor girl.
Look, I've got to go.
Wait. I need to know more about you and my mother. Why did she put you through all of that? There must be some reason for what she did.
What's the point of rubbing salt in the wounds?
Elizabeth, confiding in me might ease your burden. Let me relieve you of some of your suffering.
Relieve me? Do you even hear yourself? Do you really think that by confiding in my torturer's son, I will be healed as if by magic? That it will bring my smile back, or let me sleep at night? Look, you don't seem like a bad person, and I'm sorry you have to find out your mother's true colors like this. But I'm not going to pity you. Everybody has their cross to bear. I know your little game. You're no different from the rest of them. You couldn't give a damn about me. The only thing you're interested in is finding out about your mother.
Don't say that. Not everyone wants to use you. Some people care about you, don't they? Haven't you got a sister?
Yes.
I'm sure she loves you with all her heart.
She's the only one who cares about me. I would have put an end to it all by now if it weren't for her. Since you insist, I'll tell you how I met your mother.
Thanks for trusting me.
You see, before I was born, my mother often suffered from hallucinations.
Тупо опыт общения с женщинами
Soon
решает.
people could barely recognize her. She became a completely different person. So my father spent an enormous amount of money paying for the best doctors, but none of them were able to cure her. The last resort was to call a priest.
So, is that what your father did?
No. He went to an expert in the occult.
Ah, my mother.
Her reputation already extended beyond our borders. My mother's fits stopped at my birth, and Sarah de Richet concluded that the evil had passed into me. Not only did it encourage her to stay, but she took the opportunity to advise my father to separate me from the rest of my family. That's how I was declared stillborn. My fate was decided that very day.
It would coincide with my mother's frequent trips to America.
I had my first fit when I was 3. That's when your mother began her experiments to rid me of the evil inside.
I understand how you feel, but I know my mother. I'm sure she had her reasons, even if it seems difficult to believe.
Everything she put me through was all for nothing. My whole life was ruined for nothing.
So what brings you here then?
My father used to know Sir Holm. He offered to introduce me to the world's leading authority in the occult.
Lord Mortimer.
He was my last hope. Until I found out he had also invited your mother.
It's got to be a coincidence. I don't believe for a second she's coming for you.
You can't change my mind about this, Louis. My days are numbered, and I know it.
Но причесал у него четкий. Так, у меня уже 2 красных. Пенальти. Так, с ним будем говорить.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Неплохо. Нельзя больше скоммунистить.
What can I do for you? I am at your service day and night, sir.
As I was unable to bring my personal effects with me, I was wondering if you could find me a few items.
Of course, sir. What would you require?
My good fellow, would you have any amber available?
I would, but unfortunately, I don't think I am authorized to give it out, sir. I believe it is a precious stone.
What's that book you're hiding in your jacket?
Ну, типа
The
магазина.
Sorrows of Young Werther by Goethe, sir, and I am not hiding it.
Hand it to me, please.
It is damaged, sir. I would never dare lend sir a book in such a pitiful state, sir. I took it to restore.
Да, здесь до хрена чего, что не помогает. Так. Надо вот так вот.
Indeed, this masterpiece must not become more damaged. Let me have it and I'll take care of it personally. I love antiquarian books.
It bothers me somewhat. It isn't sir's job to take care of it, really.
No, but I would love to. You'll be doing me a favor by letting me have it.
In that case, sir, I shall leave it in your care with pleasure. May I do
Лоски, как у вас там погодка? Корица, кармелицкая вода.
You wouldn't have a little golden elixir I could use, would you?
Oh, unfortunately, sir, I have orders not to give any of that medicine to any of Lord Mortimer's guests. Some guests are here to follow a very strict treatment. Mixing or combining certain substances would be dangerous for sir.
Так, то есть здесь можно только его убедить, но я не буду это делать, потому что я потрачу.
I still haven't quite recovered after that boat crossing. Would you happen to have
any
devil's thorn by any chance?
I am sorry, sir, but the devil's thorn may be just a plant, but it is also a powerful psychotropic drug that causes undesirable diuretic effects. I would advise against sir taking any.
Ясно, здесь только убеждение.
What can you tell me about the guests?
Do excuse me, sir, but I am bound by discretion to say nothing about Lord Mortimer's guests, sir. Perhaps sir would like to know something else?
Так, особняки.
What is outside on the island exactly?
Lord Mortimer has made a point of keeping the main part of the island in its natural state, sir. For security reasons, only the wharves and the gardens are accessible to guests. If sir would like to walk along the wharves, he has only to follow the pathway used upon his arrival. If he would like to walk in the interior gardens of the manor, I would advise sir to pass through the portrait gallery. May I help sir in any other way?
А мне прикол здесь постоянно в Москве, что смс-ки от МЧС, что есть шквальный ветер и так далее, приходят под конец дня, и пользы от них ровно никакой.
Dear friends, I bid you welcome. I hope the night was not too short. Your Eminence, Duchess, Monsieur de Richet, allow me to introduce our new guests. They arrived during the night. Johann Christoph von Wollner, Minister of Religious Affairs and close aide of Frederick William II, King of Prussia. Napoleon Bonaparte, Lieutenant of the French Revolutionary Army. And Jacques Peroux, French Revolutionary Tribunal Judge. Unfortunately, my friends, Lord Mortimer will not be joining us this morning, but he should be with us later. So, let us begin.
What is Mortimer playing at? He tells me to come urgently and he sends no one to meet me?
Thank you again for the wine, Your Eminence. It is served every day at the King's table.
I am delighted to hear it.
Volner and Piaggi seem to be getting along well.
My dear Johann, how are you?
Glad to make landfall at last. And yourself?
Very well.
And your husband?
He's poorly. The French Revolution gives him terrible headaches.
Oh, I understand. I shall feel better too as soon as the situation is settled.
If by chance the French crisis is emulated in Berlin, there will
на
always be a
семейную
refuge
встречу.
for you in London, my dear.
Your offer does you honor, Emily. But London is much closer to Paris than Berlin. Beware. The French are capable of sailing up the Thames straight to the Houses of Parliament.
Oh, my friend, I am shaking in my clogs.
Здравствуйте, не уверен.
Is the wine to your liking?
Very much so, Sir Gregory. Such complexity. Typically French. A Sauterne, isn't it?
Absolutely.
If I'm not mistaken, this is not Lord Mortimer's favourite wine. It is yours.
In his absence, I have taken the liberty of making a slight deviation from the rule, but I count on your discretion.
Don't worry, I appreciate the same great
Это
varieties
член
as you.
английской
I
палаты
remember the
лордов
last time we
Пудри.
tasted that nectar here at this table.
И
The
да,
finest
мерзоты.
minds of the century were present.
And the last time we drank it, the orphanage in Bloomsbury was still in ruins.
Would you repeat that?
Oh, well, I put some small effort into the works. The orphanage reopened just before Christmas. The bedrooms, washrooms, and the classrooms had all been refurbished.
I don't know what to say. You have given the girls a wonderful Christmas gift. Thank you.
I made a promise. Now it is done.
Very funny, sir.
It's the first time I've ever seen her so moved. Just mention that orphanage broke right through Emily's hard shell.
Is everything all right?
Yes, thank you. I had a moment of absence, but here I am again.
What do you think of Volner?
Many believe he is the real leader of Prussia. A charming man, but with an iron fist and a velvet glove. I also know he's famous for his love of the hunt, in all its forms.
Show us your teeth.
Not really, no.
Have you any information on this Napoleon?
Наполеон выглядит просто как
He's certainly well connected in high
как
places.
Слэйр, реально.
Surprising. No one appears to know him.
No one knows me, and yet here I am.
Quite so.
My friend.
Monsieur de Richet, it would seem we have common interests. Could we speak in private, please?
Anche te melone.
It's the least one can say.
Lord Mortimer and the Golden Order through your mother, have concluded a financial agreement.
Stay composed, Louis. I'm listening.
An agreement for cannons. Lord Mortimer assured me that you are to take over the project on behalf of your mother. You must know that I am deeply sorry about their disappearance, but I must validate the deal urgently if I want to be able to organize things properly.
I haven't seen Lord Mortimer yet. I'm afraid I'll be unable to answer your questions.
He assured me that you could replace your mother during her absence.
I appreciate his confidence, but still, this is a bit hasty. But please continue.
Of course, but I need to know if I can count you among my allies.
Well, of course.
And for that, I have a little question for you. The agreement stipulates an aid of 50,000 louis d'or for 200 cannon.
I don't know. Maybe you ought to speak to my mother.
Oh, what a pity. I was hoping you would be up to the challenge. Too bad. I have one last question I would like to pose to you. We don't know each other yet, you and I. And I need to make sure that we both share the same vision for the future of France. Given the hard times that have befallen our beautiful country, what do you think it would take to restore its luster?
I don't know how to remedy the situation without re-establishing a solid monarchy.
And what would we stand to gain by this?
We've tried a republic, but it is clear that with the situation we're in now, that it's not working. We ought to return to a monarchy.
That makes no sense at all, my friend. The monarchy is a privileged caste who have forever built their prestige by crushing and controlling the people. I think there must be a misunderstanding.
What do you mean?
I cannot believe that Lord Mortimer advised me to speak to you. I must have misunderstood. Excuse me, please.
Bravo, Louis. Total fiasco.
Интересно, а можно... Нельзя.
My friends, I would like to say a few words, please. I would like to thank Lord Mortimer, and you, Sir Holm, for bringing us all together here. Those of us for whom it is not the first time here, like me, are all trembling in sweet anticipation of the arrival of our host. For the rest, I would like to reassure you that Lord Mortimer always has a few surprising projects to propose. But I can assure you that each and every one of us has always benefited from it. The last time I came to this place, Lord Mortimer offered to help me in my electoral campaign for the presidency of the United States. And it is imminently clear that his support was an invaluable aid to us. We are here among like-minded people. So let us put aside the conflicts in which some of our nations find themselves at present. So I raise my glass in honor of you all, my new and old friends.
I trust you shall not be disappointed, Mr. Washington. Right, we shall meet again tomorrow. All the guests will be present, as well as Lord Mortimer, I hope. Until then, I trust you will find plenty to keep you amused.
Окей. Пока еще нет, но мы на верном пути. Так. Ну, там, так. Вот так вот.
All right, let's recap. Before dinner, I was going to investigate my mother's message. I've got to find the place where all eyes size you up.
Даже так. Я пока вот это. Эх, жаль, нельзя упасть. Ну. Well.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
Так ключик-то и нету.
Seriously. Dining on ham. Well, that's very appetizing.
Well, Your Eminence, do you still have any room left?
Ah, my son, the sin of gluttony is the most difficult of all in my eyes. Nevertheless, what a charming moment we have had together. I'm delighted I was able to talk to Mr. von Wollner. We hadn't spoken to each other for an eternity.
Yes. I noticed that Your Eminence knew a fair number of people at the table.
The benefit of age, my son. This isn't my first invitation to Lord Mortimer's. You will see, it's the perfect place to make new friends. Indeed, I noticed that you and Mr. Bonaparte had already begun.
Ah, I adapt quickly to local customs. It's what I was taught.
And you are right to do so, my son. But tell me, have you had any news of your mother since your arrival?
Alas, still nothing, Your Eminence. But I still haven't been able to meet Lord Mortimer.
Do not worry. It is typical of him. What can I say? Lord Mortimer is a very busy man. I should think you are beginning to worry.
Well, I must admit, Your Eminence, indeed it does worry me.
I understand. But continue to have faith in Sarah. You'll see, I'm sure, that in a few days we'll all be laughing together.
That's all I hope for, Your Eminence. But while I have you with me, I have a question for you.
Go ahead, Louis. What can I do for you?
As I haven't visited all the manor yet, I wondered if you hadn't seen a Medusa by any chance.
I beg your pardon?
Yes, La Gorgogne, the Medusa from Greek mythology. Would you have seen one? In any shape or form?
Not at all, my son. I'm not sure what you're getting at, but unfortunately, I'm not going to be of any use to you.
Thank you anyway, Your Eminence. I won't take up any more of your time. On that last word, then, I shall leave you to fight your demons. See you later, Your Eminence.
See you later, my son.
Так. Надо сюда воровать.
Discourse on the Method by Descartes. This book changed the way I looked at the world.
Нет.
Seriously turning Ulysses'
На самом
companions
деле,
back
рассуждает эти, это полное капитанство. Полное капитанство с Декарта. Ее невозможно читать, потому что фейспалом развиваешься лицо. Так.
The only person sizing me up here is that monumental Zeus. It can't be here.
Hey, these look like pages taken from an ancient encyclopedia.
Так. Правильно. Но в целом, как для детектива, она даже лучше Soul Suspect. По мне. Даже есть налет нормальной мистики. Не просто типа призрак и все. Так. Пройти.
Lord Mortimer certainly has a taste for staging rooms.
Ну. Ну, ведь у меня... Этим символом. Так. Попробуем открыть ему шкатулку.
The lock is surrounded by a triple circle.
Нет, не он. Хрена себе.
Atrus, the Miller brothers. Mother expressly forbade me from reading it. A few pages out of an old encyclopedia.
А чего не стараются прокачка? Прикольно сделано.
Where all eyes size you up. Chances are, that's the room my mother spoke of. And she also spoke of a Medusa. Should I go and try to find the creature now? Song of Roland. Roland feeleth his... Ah, François Ier, receiving the holy faith.
Все, Леночка. Действие на 1. Отлично.
Amber crystals.
Так. Эти христианские...
The Fall of Phaeton. Another painting by Rubens. Poor Phaeton, struck by like the Last Supper by Leonardo da Vinci. The last day before his crucifixion, Jesus announces that he will be betrayed by one of his disciples.
А, там еще есть проход.
Celia. That name means nothing to me.
А вот и Медуза.
I've got to find out what Mother was trying to do with her. The Medusa. A hero armed with a sword? A hero with a lantern? And the last one holding a shield. I'll stake my life on it. All the statues form a single scene together. The poor devils are about to face the beast. Let's give them a helping hand.
Так.
Let's think. To vanquish the beast, the statues have to be lined up in a specific order. What can this shield be for? To protect its holder? Why not? But in that case, what's the lantern for? Step back and take a second, Louis. Be logical, but open-minded. Think outside the box. Nobody said a statue has to have only one use. I wonder if the lantern was to distract the Medusa. This shield can both protect the holder and also reflect the light from the lantern to distract the beast. In other words, I'll have to make an angle of 90 degrees between the lantern and the Medusa by turning this shield to face the sword. If Mortimer's the one who thought of all this stuff, then honestly, he must have a screw loose. Crazy idea, but worth a shot.
Так.
The origin of myths, a reinterpretation of legendary creatures. Just what I need. The text is in French on the left-hand page and in Latin on the right hand. Let's find the chapter on the Medusa. Hang on. This version is significantly different from the regular one. It recounts how men have always belittled women in society. Harpies, mermaids, the chimera, the hydra, the gorgons. Ah, the section on the Medusa. While some of the heroes divert attention from the gorgon, the hero with the sword brandishes his weapon at the Medusa.
Так. Медузе. Я так китовику. Правильно.
If I respect the legend, I have to place the hero holding the shield in front of the Medusa. Except for here, it doesn't work. There must be something else. statue is darker on the right-hand side, it must be often placed towards the fire, which would explain the difference in color. In that case, it would be facing the Medusa. Perfect for the coup de grace.
Так, отлично, она к Медузе. И тут 90 вероятностей между ними.
Now, Louis, it's time to keep a logical mind, as every good scientist should. The aim is to defeat the Medusa, so what can the lantern be for? To light up the Medusa? Hardly likely. The hero holding the lantern will be easy prey, and the shield will be of no use. To light up the sword? No, that makes no sense. So that leaves the shield. I wonder if the aim is to play with the light. If I turn the shield right, the light would be reflected. The ray of light will perturb the Medusa and focus her attention on the best protected hero. Pretty smart. But it also means I have to make sure I get the shield position just right.
Так, ну вроде все правильно.
A painting with no name.
Так, он к Медузе. Этот к что?
Let's think. To vanquish the beast, the statues have to be lined up in a specific order. What can this shield be for? To protect its holder? Why not? But in that case, what's the lantern for? Step back and take a second, Louis. Be logical, but open-minded. Think outside the box. Nobody said a statue has to have only one use. I wonder if the lantern was to distract the Medusa. This shield can both protect the holder and also reflect the light from the lantern to distract the beast. In other words, I'll have to make an angle of 90 degrees between the lantern and the Medusa by turning this shield to face the sword. If Mortimer's the one who thought of all this stuff, then honestly, he must have a screw loose. Crazy idea, but worth a shot.
Так, тут... Да, есть 90. Этот чувак. Пробить его.
If I respect the legend, I have to place the hero holding the shield in front of the Medusa. If I respect the legend, I have to place the hero holding the shield in front of the Medusa. Except for here, it doesn't work. There must be something else.
Правильно. Тут 90 раз. Думаем. Будет. Думаете? По крайней мере, Петрини Севичи здесь. Кто-то смотрит на щит. Это тоже на щит. 90 градусов. Скорее всего, нужно, чтобы щитовик смотрел на... То есть мечом. Или в скобочках нет.
For Pete's sake, Emily! You scared the pants off me. Don't ever do that again.
Well, keep your nose out of my business then.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Stop fooling around and tell me what you're doing here.
I've discovered a hidden message from my mother. She explains how to find the secret room. Something must have attracted her here, so I've come to check it out. And you? What brings you here?
My, you're curious.
Let me guess.
Go on then, impress me.
You're spying on Mortimer, right?
Everyone is spying on Mortimer.
Shall I take that for a yes?
Take it as you please, but I wouldn't be surprised if all the guests were around here somewhere searching the manor. Well, no matter. I'll tolerate your presence this one time. Now, since you're here, make yourself useful. Look around on your side. I'll do the same on mine. And if you find anything of interest, let me know.
Oh, yeah. In your dreams. At your service, madam.
Не разбей античную вазу. Золотое руно.
A golden fleece.
It's freezing. Hurry up.
Cold? You want a rug? It'll warm you up.
I wouldn't be caught dead in that horrible thing.
That's a pity. The gold color brings out your eyes.
And your flattery brings out your boorishness.
An unofficial gospel? You'd be more likely to find this kind of book at the Vatican.
Nothing special. The library at Buckingham has 3.
I bet you've read them cover to cover.
Naturally.
Really? I'm curious. Tell me, what part stood out the most to you?
The passage where Mary says to Joseph, "Hey, you, shut up."
In other words, you haven't even opened one.
Yeah.
A drachma. Hey, Mortimer is the author of this work. It talks about his passion for art.
Венок Цезаря?
Guess what I found?
The Holy Grail.
Older than that.
A piece of Noah's Ark.
Not that old.
This could go on for hours. Just tell me.
Caesar's laurel wreath.
Stop! Don't put your grubby fat fingers on it.
You find my fingers fat?
At least put on some gloves.
Please note, my fingers are slim.
You were going to leave marks. My God, what an amateur.
Many a harpsichord players would love to have sexy fingers like mine.
Tell me where you took your infiltration classes so I can have your tutor executed.
Let's compare hands then. We'll soon see whose fingers are fattest.
No, I'm not going to compare hands with you. Let's just keep going.
Bad loser. Well, looks like a pamphlet on different political regimes, written by Mortimer himself. You should see this sword, Emily. It's magnificent.
I'm busy. Describe it to me.
This weapon is typically French, quite old, undoubtedly goes back to the Crusades. If it is a true Damask sword, it's worth more than a kingdom. It really does look like Joan of Arc's sword.
The famous Maid of Orleans. One of your favorite historical heroines.
You bet, given the number of English butts she kicked.
And we all know where that got her. When you finished playing, maybe you can help me search the place?
Интересный загар.
A fragment of amber.
Here's something interesting. A manor in Maine, hundreds of acres of land in Catalonia, properties in Shanghai. Incredible. Some of these deeds are over 600 years old, and all signed by the hand of Mortimer.
I wonder if that's what inspired my mother's attention. How come all these documents have Mortimer's signature on them?
Do you think all these properties really belong to him?
Several people have played the part of Mortimer, a part that has been passed down from generation to generation. Different men, but with one sole identity.
An intriguing hypothesis, and yet less twisted than some of my previous cases.
At last, you finally agree with me about something.
These documents are intriguing, but do you really think that's what attracted your mother's attention here?
I don't know. She was obsessed with Mortimer, and I must confess, these property deeds are troubling.
If that's the case, why would she have left them?
Once again, I don't know. We'll have to ask her when we find her. And what's your take? Why keep such a collection hidden in a secret room? Any thoughts?
Mortimer has every reason in the world to conceal it, even if only to keep it from people like us.
Hey, Emily, we're not thieves. We're only looking. I wonder why my mother didn't make it clear what she was interested in here.
She didn't have time to write it down, or maybe she wasn't sure of what she was looking for.
Or she wanted to protect her discoveries. It's disturbing.
You'll just have to search the rest of the room. Maybe you'll find something.
Да, я.
What is that you found?
A cameo pendant. What's going on?
Nothing.
For crying out loud, Emily, you lunged for that jewel like your life depended on it. Tell me what this is about.
No. We just met, Louis. I like you, but I can't just suddenly open myself up like a book to you.
Listen, Emily. It seems pretty obvious to me that you haven't come here for the sole purpose of sampling Mortimer's cellar. Stop all the clever evasions and just trust me.
And why the hell should I place my trust in you, Louis?
Mortimer's letter, my mother's message in the book, the Golden Order. What more do you need as proof of my goodwill?
I freely admit that my wary side does get the better of me sometimes.
Wary? Yeah, like a wild animal.
Don't exaggerate.
But that's what I like about you.
I'll admit you are fairly reliable.
That's it? I was expecting more.
Well, I'm prepared to trust you when it comes to choosing a French cheese. But I've nothing to gain by confiding in you any further than that.
Nothing to gain? Damn it, Emily! I'm only trying to help you. Stop needing to gain something all the time.
Because you think I need help?
Just like everyone, you have your strengths and your weaknesses, and there's no use pretending otherwise.
Ha! And I bet you found out where I'm weak, haven't you?
Так, слабости, 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 черты. Психология, устойчивость к погибели.
You think your scathing wit protects you, but in fact, it makes you blind. No sooner have people introduced themselves than you already see them in a bad light. You play the part of a strong woman, and yes, you are a strong woman, of course, but what I see is a sensitive young lady who lacks self-confidence. Stop adopting a defensive posture, and you'll see just how quickly new doors will open.
There is some truth to what you say. I might have some weaknesses, but I don't need your help to overcome them. And I'm simply not contemplating collaborating with anyone at this time. Do you understand?
Yes, it's perfectly clear. You're already working with someone.
Ah, well spotted, Louis. I already have a work partner. I know my weaknesses. I don't doubt that your abilities will be of use to me, but I already have all that, thanks to my teammate.
Is there any chance you might tell me who he is?
No, I've already said too much. Consider yourself lucky I've even given you this much. It's extremely rare, believe me.
Come on, don't stop now that you've come this far. You know that eventually I'll end up making you talk.
Well, since no one can resist you, let's see if you can guess who my partner is.
You're a gambler. So, your partner is... It's as obvious as it is surprising. You're my mother's hard-hitting partner.
Oh, God, do you really believe the nonsense that comes out of your mouth?
Well, a second ago I did. A little.
Sorry, Louis, your mother is not my partner.
Chances are, you're working with a member of the Order.
The only members of the Order other than ourselves are your mother and Mr. Washington. The former has sadly gone missing. As for the latter, I knew nothing of his arrival. Incidentally, you must have noticed how inefficiently our Order communicates internationally.
Your sister. She's your partner. She's the one you're looking for.
Well, I am impressed. How the devil did you guess I had a sister? Virtually no one even knows. When it comes to getting results, you are very good, I grant you that. You deserve to know why the sight of the cameo pendant affected me so strongly. I thought it belonged to Emma, my twin sister.
Oh. Now I get why you said you had a memory for two.
Yes.
Так, ну сейчас тогда эту главу заканчиваю, завтра уже продолжу пораньше, я понимаю, что я доебываю каждый день, но мне просто неделя выдалась, менеджер один уезжает в отпуск в Японию на 2 недели, поэтому все сдвинулось по графику. Завтра вроде ничего нет.
But isn't it complicated? How do you make it work?
One of us has no existence in the outside world. We share everything. First for one, then for the other. We dress the same, wear the same makeup, we speak the same. We've learned to act as one. When we accept a mission, we both turn
Да, я
up.
8 часов на работу.
This time, though, she went ahead, and I was meant to wait for her on the mainland. She was meant to meet Sir Home and bring back the details so we could work out who would follow up.
And there was a problem?
She was supposed to return from Mortimer's 1 week ago. The boat turned up at Plymouth, but alas, no trace of my sister. Instead, a sailor passed me a message from home, notifying me of her sudden disappearance.
So, my mother and your sister go missing just a few days apart. That's strange. Maybe their disappearances are linked.
It's clearly a possibility, but up to now I haven't found a trace of either of them.
None of this is very reassuring.
By the way, Louis, now that you are in on the secret, you are obliged to keep it to yourself, or you will pay very dearly.
Don't worry. Your secret is safe with me.
It's time to leave.
Так, отлично. Главное не обосраться с прокачкой сейчас. А прокачки не будет?
What do you think of our first adventure?
I must admit, it has been fun by your side.
Same here.
Oh, she's been drinking too much again.
Louis, I need to talk to you right now.
Ни хрена у нее
Actually, this is not a good time.
I'm begging you, please don't leave me alone.
I'll be waiting for you in your room, but don't be late.
I was sure there was a certain je ne sais quoi between us.
Louis, we need to talk now. Otherwise, it'll be too late.
Looks like Elizabeth really needs me, but if I start talking to her, for sure Emily won't wait for me. What should I do? Excuse me, Elizabeth, but some very urgent business has cropped up. We can speak tomorrow.
No, Louis, don't leave me alone. They've come back.
Good night, madam.
Сука, не то хотел выбрать.
Well, well, Louis, you took your sweet time. What did our poor Elizabeth want?
The real question would be this. What exactly are you doing, Emily, in my room?
I've enjoyed our discussions very much, and I had hoped that we could continue them.
Emily? Have I misunderstood something here? What are you doing in my room?
And for a while now, the question has been nagging at me.
And that explains why I now find you here in my bed. Go ahead.
Нужно досейвом это жить, вроде сейчас должен быть и
I
закончить.
know your mother was here to meet someone, but I can't figure out who.
Oh, so that's what's been hiding behind all this.
We are both members of the Order, Louis. Let's try to be honest with each other. I have followed with great interest your affair in Paris, in connection with Mr. von Borchardt. You managed to steal
Вот я и боюсь, ведь, что завтра
if
я
I'm not
две
mistaken.
Emily, you suddenly seem to be very interested in my private affairs. You aren't pumping me for information, are you?
В смысле, души-ключ?
I'm deeply hurt that you'd even think such a
お
thing.
前はもう死んでい
I'm
る。
sorry, I just thought this...
Well, you
Спасибо
thought
за
wrong.
фоллоу.
I was interested in you, that's all. But that seems to be beyond you.
Don't take it like that. My mother and I recovered an old occult book that von Burchard was planning to resell on the black market.
А где мой Сент-Нудис в ЛС? Ну я после стрима все прокачал.
Fascinating.
Лагает
But
вещь?
just what did Sarah expect to accomplish here?
If only I knew myself. My mother always takes a sly pleasure in telling me as little as possible.
Oh, poor little Louis. Your mother hides things from you. That's not very nice.
No, it's not nice at all. And you? What were
Точно,
you
точно.
supposed to do once the book was found?
Give it to our sponsor, of course. Sir Gregory has more than one card up his sleeve.
So you mean Home is playing both sides?
Right. Enough chatting. Come and join me instead.
Конечно, господи. Сцену не покажут, как в Ведьмаке?
I have to go, Louis. I don't want anyone finding me here in the morning.
You're right. Well, have a good night.
Good night.
Верните мои
See you
деньги.
tomorrow, rested and ready.
Sure thing.
За 50 баксов, ну, блин, сорян. Откуда такие деньги у неработающего человека? Так, сейчас.
Lord Mortimer, Monsieur de Richet, at last we meet.
Так. Ну все, конец головы. Сейчас я вырублю. И завтра уже 8 часов. Вырублю. Встречка навыков. Качаем мы. Кет нафиг не нужен. Хитрость вкачаю. Вот это вкачаю. И... Аутизм. А, это как раз таки, видимо, первая часть и прошла. Окей, тогда всем до завтра. Спокойной ночи.